Okay, let's look at the GMEA concert band 910 snare drum etude. So, first things first, we got some 30 seconds coming out of the gate here. A little quick, but not too bad. We do have an immediate dynamic change, so making sure that we're taking advantage of our zoning. Going, mezzo forte and above is just north of center, and then the piano will be there on the edge. Later on, when you hit the mezzo piano, it'll be halfway from the edge. So, the roll subdivision on this one, actually I'm going to change it a couple times in the slow section. When I'm surrounded by all these 30-second notes, I'm going to play a 30-second note subdivision on these rolls. They're only eighth note rolls, and then when I hit the end of measure 2, this is beat 4 of measure 2, that's when I'm going to switch to a sextuplet feel, okay, a 16th note triplet. So, if I'm checking it, it's going to sound something like this for the first 3 bars. Okay? Make sure you don't overplay the mezzo forte at the end of measure 2. Okay? You want to make sure that it's not as loud as what your forte was at the beginning. That very first note can be because it's an accent, and you typically want to play accents one dynamic level above what is written. But you want to make sure that past that you get right down the mezzo forte and ease it on down. Okay? Playing that phrase with rolls. Making sure at the end there that we get the accent. Even though we're decrescendo, we've got to pop that accent out just a little bit. Kind of got an ostinato roll pattern here. I like to play both those flams right. Got a flam cue. Now, let's talk about this roll at the end. If you're comfortable with roll subdivisions, you're going to get a little bit fatter sound if you actually go to a 7 there, so a septuplet. It's totally acceptable. If you're not comfortable with that, I would not recommend trying it. It's totally acceptable to just do a 6, a sextuplet, okay? But this is kind of this odd tempo where a 7 is going to give you just a little bit fatter sound, okay? It's not going to be quite as rushed as an 8, like a 30-second note roll in context, but okay? Versus a 6, it would sound like this. Which is totally fine. Or an 8 that would sound like this. Which for my taste is just a little bit fast for a long roll like that. It works on the 8th note rolls earlier, but I think it's just a little fast for that roll. So I really like a 7 if you can pull it off. Looking at the fast section, make sure you don't start the decrescendo until really the end of 3, and then make sure that we're not getting too soft. A lot of times we want to just play loud and soft, right? But mezzo piano, medium soft. We don't want to play all the way to the edge. We want to be halfway, and we want to make sure we have room that when we do need to get softer, that we have the ability to do that, okay? So I'm going to start here and play the first 5 bars. Okay, measure 11, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, okay? So those flams are going to be left hand, okay? Making sure that I'm going in my right hand to go note, brace, note, brace, note, brace. Okay? One thing about the drags, so it says at the beginning, all rolls and roughs to be played closed, okay? So obviously that means we're going to play buzz rolls. But don't confuse that with meaning that we're going to play our drags buzzed. Okay? I like to do the actual representation just very tight and very close to the note. Okay? I think of closed in that manner to be the opposite of open, which is kind of like a rudimental style like that. So I'm thinking more close. Okay, but still adhering to the 2 grace notes and making sure that you're playing 2. So when we hit the piano at measure 12, 5-stroke rolls. Make sure that's right, right, left, right, left. Okay. Then when I hit 13 through 14, once I hit beat 3 of 13, I'm going to play all this on the right hand. I'm going to take care of the grace notes on the left hand, but all the other 8th notes I'm going to play right hand. Okay, it's going to be a lot cleaner that way. A lot of times, you know, when you're in middle school and stuff like that, we train you alternate 8th notes, which is all fine and good, and that's totally an acceptable way of doing it. But the sticks have 2 different sounds. So 10 times out of 10, this is going to sound a lot more even than this. Okay, you can get really, really close, and playing alternate 8ths is just fine. But in a passage like this, at the tempo that we're at, I think it's totally fine to go right. Okay, moving on to the triplet at 15. I'm going right. So right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left. Okay. To put that in context, this is starting at 13. Now take it to the end of round 1. Okay. Moving on, make sure for the accents, just count. Don't get too loud, too fast. And then when we get to 17, beat 3, those are going to be flam taps. Okay. Roll that starts on an upbeat. Another roll that starts on an upbeat, kind of across the bar line roll. So making sure we're just giving both of those 3/8 notes worth of value. Open up the triplet. Remember the quarter note triplet, the definition of a tuplet, 3 notes evenly spaced, right? So we want to make sure those notes are evenly spaced and we're not doing some sort of like Latin kind of groove there, okay? Starting at 18, I'm going to come up from piano to forte. In a piano. The rest of it there is pretty straightforward. You just need to play what's on the page. Making sure we're not overplaying until we hit the crescendo. Nice and loud at the end. Follow the accents, and then the last 2 notes I'm going right. Just give me a little extra momentum. Hope this helps.